Man, we're live.
Yay!
All right.
Hi, Internet.
How'd you
Why
get my
is this?
What are you doing, Knobs?
I was gonna open up whatchamacallit, and my home screen just keeps changing. What the fuck is V9?
You gotta guess version 9.
Of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, we're at Internet 9.0.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire up my Tall browser. wait, what are the buttons on here? Facebook, Clash of Kings, Big Farm, Empire, Badu, Alex Express,
What?
and Zazzle.
Express.
Alexpress and Zazzle.
What, did you open up an Internet Explorer that has like a million toolbars installed or something?
No toolbars. It's V9
Duh, don't you use V9?
with
Hannah?
all these buttons. Come on, bro.
I thought you were ahead of the times.
With
What do you want, a V7? Jeez.
Come on, V9 comes with
Come on, man.
Ultra.
V9's so much faster. I mean, it uses more RAM, but,
Yeah.
you know, with the features.
It's the features.
Again with the features.
Yeah.
Sign in.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, feeling good.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Is that all this live stream is going to be, is watch Knobs struggle with Windows 8?
Yes. 100%.
Come on, what were you doing? What is?
It's pretty entertaining so far.
Shift change. Oh, suck a dick.
What are you trying to do? Let us help you.
I'm trying to log into Twitch.
That never works for you.
It does not.
Why try?
I don't know. Because I want to be part of the show.
I hate to tell you, you're on the show. We released this.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Yep. There it is. Alright, you guys ready to start recording?
Yeah.
Didn't we start like a little bit ago?
Yeah, you know. I figured we'd do it
I
twice.
was.
I didn't sleep a
where's
lot
my
last
fucking
night.
Oh, there it is in my lap.
It's gonna be one of these days, huh?
I'm sorry. I'm like running on like 6 hours of sleep the last 2 days.
See y'all next week, folks. Is that coffee in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, God. Heaven help us.
So that will make it better.
Yes.
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Just... save that for later. I'm gonna shit in that.
Gotta have a poo box.
Hi.
Hi.
Just a day in the life of Knobs.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing laundry too, which has been
Even better.
I had to buy a new sheet, so I had to wash them, right?
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Otherwise, they're factory gross.
Yeah,
Did
you
I-
don't want factory gross.
Did I tell you like why I had to buy new sheets?
No.
Is this podcast appropriate?
Yeah, we're not.
Podcast appropriate.
Yeah, we haven't
It's-
started
it's,
yet.
It's the stream anyway.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
They know
So-
what we're like.
All right, so my dogs like have nails,
Yeah.
and you know there was a couple little pinholes like in it, like up by because Boomer likes to nest, so he does this little
Oh,
turns and poked a couple small holes in it.
Yeah.
Well, one of those holes ended up about the size of a quarter.
yeah. Sure.
So I'm like, all right, I'm tired. I can feel this thing on my shoulder. I'm just rotating the sheet. So I put the hole, rotated 1/4. So put the hole from not by my head, down by my foot. And one night, my big toe got stuck in it. I went full panic.
Just like in the middle of the night, you're like, no, I'm dying.
I just started thrashing, and then it became and it became literally a hole from the bottom all the way to the top. And I've been using this for probably about a month now, where I wake up and half my body is in between the sheet and the mattress, the sheet and the mattress stand. And I was like, I can't live like this anymore.
Man isn't meant to live like this.
Wait. So I went out and bought new sheets. That was 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't put them on. Now I finally put them in the machine. They're being washed.
One step closer.
Yeah, now they're going to sit in the dryer for the next week.
Another month.
Yep.
But no, I made sure I took all the pillowcases off, so I have to put them on.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's how you do it.
Tricking myself.
Yeah. Or you sleep on the couch.
Man, I've been passing out on that chair downstairs, and man, my neck hurts.
Don't want that.
My neck, my back and my neck.
All right, you guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yeah, sure. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
It's got electrolytes.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we have Knobs.
Hi.
And we have the Hannah.
Hey.
Little piece of programming notes here. New episode, Picking Up the Pixels, RPG Love, is out now. If you're listening to the audio version of this, if you're on the live stream, I haven't edited it yet, so don't go look for it. Listen to old episodes, that'd be cool too. But,
yeah.
You know, it's a good show. It's a good time, had by all. Anywho, let's get right into it. Knobs, what have you been playing?
Played a couple things this week.
Stuff and junk.
Just your normal stuff. Something kind of after I finished Wolfenstein last week, just kind of like I have no motivation to do anything right now.
Yeah, don't have that next big game.
Well, I don't have anything that I can really see. I can really see grabbing my attention for any length of time. So we played I had a Monday night game night. I missed Thursday because plans and stuff. So
yeah,
that was sad. And play some analog games this week. Some golf.
Yeah.
No, I was went bowling last week, but I took a header into the lane. But
that was last week.
Yeah.
See the previous live stream.
That still hurts. Like my knees.
Sure.
Emotionally, spiritually.
Thanks, folks. Yeah. So I'm gonna play some golf. I've been shooting okay, but man, I'm wild. Like I miss my consistency of my Tiger Woods game. Like it just.
I want to bring that into real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make some bank.
Yeah.
Get that 3-point swing down with an actual golf club.
Yeah. McElroy, what?
I just show up on it, get my little robot up there, tink, boom, spin.
Tap.
Oh, it's in the hole. But anyway, so I think it was around either Wednesday or Thursday, I broke down and I bought Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls.
Hey,
nice.
And so I had this crazy notion that my PC game would carry over, so I spent all of Saturday night like, all right, so I figured I'm gonna throw a movie on and I'm gonna let this install, and that'll give me time. I'll go upstairs and I'll update all my Battle.net stuff, which I completely forgot my Battle.net login, my username. Like, so
you don't have the client.
It turned into this ordeal, and apparently at some point I downloaded an authenticator, and I had to de-authenticate it.
Oh, that's the worst. I've had to do that.
So it's really screwing around. I'm like, screw it, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
So
tapping back out.
I was like, bring in a lefty, I'm out. Like it's just, I was done. So this morning I get my my regular run, go get my coffee, get me donuts, and so I sit down and I start playing. So then I'm like, all right, now I just want to make sure this works. So I'm going to ask someone in the know. So I was like, hey, Tom Gamer. It's like, hey, Tom, can I carry over my PC character? Yes or no? He's like, you can do it from the 3C, from the PC or from the 360. I was like, not what I asked, but can I? He's like, I'm not sure, but you can try. All right, I've been trying. No, not gonna work. So starting over from scratch.
Yeah.
So in the midst of that, I had fired up Diablo 3 on the PC and just kind of seeing where I was and yada yada yada. I was like, I'm level 24. I was only 15 hours in Act 2. I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like too much progress to really be upset about.
It's not.
So I hop in there and I'm tooling around a little bit. I got killed by some random spiders, like in one of the basements or something. They just got annihilated. I'm like I'm so like
What class are you playing?
Witch Hunter.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the good one.
Is that the name correct?
Demon Hunter, I think.
Nomenclature of that, or
I think it is Demon Hunter.
Okay, Demon Hunter. Yeah, so I'm using Demon Hunter class because I like the little bow and arrow and the little springy steps and stuff, or whatever he does.
Traps and whatnot.
Yeah. Ah, man, the clat traps are awesome.
Oh yeah.
They just boom, back roll, rapid fire, like it's
Blood owl.
Blood owl. Make it rain, like just laying waste to things. But yeah, I got caught a couple times, and Tom Gamer hopped in my game, and he's playing some. He looks like Dulcim from Street Fighter.
The monk.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a cool class too. I like that one.
Oh, dude, he's unstoppable. He's like bringing like these ass with these little hands, like just like smacking dudes.
Yeah, those are the best.
And the lava, the lava pits and stuff. Like, man, his AOE's are just brutal.
Yep.
So I'm playing through that, and I'm like, I'm not killing anything. Like, I feel like I'm shooting water balloons at this point. Like, it's just nothing is doing any damage. Then I finally unlocked the rapid fire skill. So then I'm like, all right, now I can start killing stuff.
That's the stuff. Yeah.
So I've been playing around with that class, but yeah. So I'm back in Tristan or whatever that thing's called.
Tristram.
Tristram.
The rural juror.
Tristram. I think I'm really close to closing out Act 1, but I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, all right, so in 15 hours, I'm at the end of Act 2, and I'm only level 24, and now I'm not even through Act 1, and I'm level 20. Like, this...
Yeah. They rebalanced a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not crazy, right?
No,
like,
no.
Like, I'm not, like, Diablo God right now, so...
I mean, that's also possible. I mean, I'm not here to tear you down.
Unlikely, but possible.
I am not playing this game well. But I am really enjoying the controller layout for it. Like, it plays a lot better than I thought it was going to.
That just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't played a Diablo game since, like, 2. And I was like, I don't know how this is going to translate to a controller. And then I picked it up for 360 and was like, okay, I actually prefer this.
Oh, it's laid out right. Your powers are on the face buttons, and a healing potion on the right bumper or left bumper, and it's like I'm having a good old time.
Yes,
I may have actually beat Belial this time.
Nice.
But yeah, I definitely like the God of War dodge too. I think that is a lot better on the actual console than it is versus PC. Yeah, because that was my biggest problem, was always being planted in that cast, like to shoot, and not having the ability to dodge efficiently, or as efficiently as I would like.
I'm surprised they haven't added that to the PC version. That's been a console-only thing, and I thought you kind of needed it, and it made sense with the controller because you can just flick the right stick in whatever direction you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, the Demon Hunter makes a little bit less sense because you have that evade eventually where you can travel farther faster. But for everybody else, it's just kind of this thing where it's like, whoa, gotta go back.
Well, it was so, like a whole the design scheme or that control scheme was just, everything felt like second nature. Like it didn't have any hiccups, like, at the crab claw hand, the controller, you got to hold left trigger and an A to do this move, and play it behind your head,
You're like holding something down
like,
with your
like
nose.
the stick with your
Yeah.
tongue 3 times, you know.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, that's always the problem I had with Assassin's Creed in some of the later games. You're sitting there like you're like, okay, I've got all this claw hand going on, and I need to turn the camera. Do I
Yeah.
use my nose, my tongue, or just like the side of my face?
It's like playing SSX. Like you have all
just
four
get
shoulder
it
buttons
in there and just work it.
held down.
Just work it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I mean, I think the console versions of Diablo 3 are some of the best, especially on Xbox One and PS4. They look great. They run great. It's good stuff.
Yeah, because I'm so far removed from the days of playing Diablo 2. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, like, even though this one was, like, I was having a lot of fun with it, and I just kind of hit this brick wall, like, I don't remember how to do this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But then it just got me thinking, man, I'm really itching for Legacy of the Void. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to play. I'm dying for an RTS right now.
That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
I really am. Like, I just to sit back, just create units, and just send out the horde.
Yeah,
Like,
just decimate them.
because that's such a
That's not the right
satisfying feeling. Just you know, it's like unleash the Kraken. Like, just
Yeah.
go after it.
Mowing them down.
But yeah, no, like, I'm really enjoying Diablo, and I've already got 2 legendaries. Like I got this weird. My dude is the worst dressed of all time. Like, I have this spiky crown right now.
Yeah.
I have like a light tan. I'm gonna call it a khaki cape.
Nice.
I have bright blue gauntlets on my arms and bright red boots.
Nice.
Amazing.
Like, it's just, and
Captain
then all
Colorblind.
the leather stuff. Like, no, well, if you were colorblind, you would recognize this guy coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, that to me doesn't even match, bro. Like,
Oh, that's good.
but yeah, so that's probably gonna suck up a lot of time, and you know, I imagine I'm probably gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Even though it kind of ruins this for me for just a little bit, or just makes it a little funny, like when things are serious in that game, is the voice actor that does the Demon Hunter class is the same voice I use for the boss in the Saints Row games. So at some point, I'm waiting for him to yell. It's like, you know, like, blah, 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 Mackenzie, or
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Shawnee to show up. He's the
Just
boss.
shows up through some of the portals. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Here comes Pierce, you know, pimping out Saints Flow.
Yeah, it just ties right in. You just meet him in hell.
Like that, and then with Decker Kane, just like, I just have that whole Bane thing still in my brain. Like, I can't shake
Deckard
it.
Bane.
Decker Bane. Like, it's just, I can't. It's just these little dumb things, but it wasn't a problem when the game was released. But now that I've played so much and there's so much media, I'm like, you notice all these things that you shouldn't be associating with what's happening.
Yeah.
But I can't help it. So, that I really want to play Crackdown. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, just today, like,
I'm hoping Crackdown 3 will show up at E3.
Here's hoping.
I mean, it kind of has to, but
They could just pretend it doesn't exist like they're doing with Phantom Dust.
low blow.
Yeah.
stay away from the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. Play anything else this week, Knobs?
No, I did download the Trivia Pursuit. I think it's Games for Gold. It's like $7.50 right now.
Oh, nice.
So, I'm waiting to hate our friends now.
Hannah, what have you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing all sorts of stuff, sir. All right. I made a mistake and attempted to play Final Fantasy VIII this week. That was a bad call.
That game's
not good.
That game's good.
That game's not good. That game starts off so slow. I want to take a nap.
That game starts off real rough. The story
Yeah.
is pretty dumb throughout most of it, but
Yeah.
that game system, once you kind of crack that system right open, oh, it's so good.
I had a friend post about it on Facebook, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give that another try. I think it's gonna be another 5 years.
Probably.
Yeah, so that's officially off the plate. Especially because I registered for the 4-job fiesta this week.
Yay. Which run did you...
Oh, I always just do a regular run. Okay. If I do anything, I can drive myself crazy.
You didn't set up a chaos run?
Oh, God, no. Oh, no.
Nobody knows what the chaos run is this year. The only thing
I don't want to find out.
The only thing it says is you will be assigned jobs. So, I don't know.
Man. So yeah, Final Fantasy VIII just starts off so slow, and like every time, like really, I have to walk up to a computer terminal and just read all of these tutorials.
Yeah, but man, that music is so good.
It is good, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. I played a little bit of Nidhogg, just a sort of a palate cleanser from that, and transitioning to all the other stuff I played this week, because I just needed something to just sort of get me back into just playing on my Vita, because I haven't in a while.
Yeah.
So I loaded that up. I was like, this is pretty cool. This game is still pretty great. Even the single player, just running through that for, 20, 30 minutes and just getting my butt kicked by the computer for the last 3 or 4 matches there because they are completely unfair. Yeah. Nidhogg, I really wish they had a system like Mortal Kombat does where you could just set up random modifiers and just start matches that way, but you sort of have to do a pseudo-random. You just scroll and hit X and change the modifiers as you go.
Oh, right.
And hope you end up with something interesting and not something unplayable.
Yeah.
So I'm leading in from that, I decided to play a little bit of Titan Souls. I finally beat that 4th boss in that first area. It took me like 7 or 8 tries. I think I've died a total of like 56 times and killed only 4 bosses.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. It's really satisfying when you finally get a kill on one of those things.
Yeah, I always, every time I do, I'm just like,
yeah! I want to like spike my Vita and be like, yeah!
That's what you get when you mess with a warrior.
Yes. Oh, God. But yeah, that game's really, really, really tough. And just banging your head against the same boss for 15, 20 minutes isn't necessarily fun in the same way that like trying to figure out how to get through an area in Bloodborne is fun.
Right.
It's not the same as like your standard Souls game. It's difficult, but for way different reasons.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they spawn you and you have to make your way back to that boss, and there's no like, oh, just spawn me outside the door, maybe.
Yeah, if there are some. The other areas are a little bit better about that because you can get one of those little sigils in like right next to a lot of the boss stores, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, I'm in like the forested area now. I'm fighting that mushroom that hops up and down. That thing sucks.
Yeah. Ugh.
Especially playing it on the Vita, you can't aim for anything.
Yeah, those sticks aren't really.
Those thumbsticks are way, way too small to get that stuff done. But it's still a really good game. The music is phenomenal.
Music's phenomenal. I really like the art style too.
The art style is really good too. Just that really narrow, just like really tight pixel art look is just so solid and such a. It reminds me a lot of Link to the Past. Actually, every time I see it, like just the way they do the foliage and
the animations.
Yeah, they do a really good job with it.
Yeah.
I played a bit more of this month's Game Club game, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I have made it to the 3rd hub world. So there's 4 main hubs in the game. You're in Santa Monica, downtown LA, Hollywood, and I forget what the last one is. But there's like these 4 main hub areas. And I'll probably talk about it more on the Game Club cast, but it's weird how much these hub worlds remind me of like the hub worlds in Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Oh,
It's a real, and actually the other JZ brought up the last hub world in the game is Chinatown.
Oh, interesting.
So the hub worlds feel very similar to like downtown Detroit and what is the name of the Chinese city in that game? It's gonna try Hengsha.
Oh, I thought you said Beijing.
No, it's not Beijing. You don't actually go to Beijing. I think
Shibuya. Tell me you go to Shibuya.
No, you don't go to Shibuya.
That's a super callback.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really a similar sort of feel, and if you enjoyed those sort of hub missions in Deus Ex, you will definitely like Vampire the Masquerade. This game is 11 years old, and it still holds up. I'll give it that. Like that's the biggest thing I'll say about it is it doesn't necessarily have the look. I have installed one or two minor graphical mods, but no like models or textures or anything. Just like lighting and drivers and things.
Yeah,
and it still holds up pretty well. There's some weird stuff in there. But man, just the writing and the story and the interesting quest structure is just it's a really good game. And I highly recommend if you've never played it or never even heard of it, check it out on Steam. I think it's like $20. It's totally worth the entry fee. I finally finished Tomb Raider.
Hey.
Actually, to real quick answer Dime's question in chat, Vampire the Masquerade, I've spent probably about 15 hours so far. I'm not sure how far through I am. It depends on how many side quests you do, because there's a ton of different stuff you can and can't do, depending. So I would guess, I would check like how long to beat, but I would guess this is probably going to be like a 20, 30-hour game.
That's not bad.
It's a pretty meaty RPG, considering. So, but yeah, finished up Tomb Raider finally. Those last couple hours were really good.
Yeah, they have some good puzzles in that last section.
Oh yeah, some good puzzles and just some good set pieces.
Yeah.
And I like the addition of like that rope climber thing you get.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because like I slid down and I was like, how am I supposed to get back up there?
Yeah, like how do I can't go that way again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like all the stuff that happens and the way they finish that game off is just...
There's a little punch of fan service right at the end, and it's like, Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It just that story is really good. It's a little quick considering the big change Lara goes through.
Right.
But I would rather have it be a little quick than way too slow.
Yeah, it doesn't really settle on anything at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so excited for the second one. After that Tomb Raider, I never liked any of the original ones, and after I finished
Same here.
that one, I was sort of like, okay, I could do more of this.
I could be a big fan of this, yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty great.
Well, they took all the right notes from, like, Uncharted. Like, it felt like they did their homework before they made this game. They're like, okay, Uncharted sort of basically lifted our fan base wholesale.
Right.
Yeah.
What can we take back from them, and how can we incorporate it into the actual lore of this series, and how can we, sort of reinvent the character and show an origin story that isn't like lame and boring.
Well, and focus on Lara as a character instead of it just being, I don't know, she's raiding tombs. What do you want? Shoot a frickin' T-Rex in the face.
Yeah.
What do you want, more? Like
you don't just have like this big long exposition about how she's just going to find treasure and blah blah blah. Like have a motivator beyond that.
Yeah.
And like just the way they handled the story was really really good, and the way they just sort of at the end there they set it up for like a really open ended sequel was really great too.
Well, it's funny after playing that game. It's sort of like you get the ending and that's sort of like sequel, right? Wink.
Yeah, it's a really big wink, but it's not like this is exactly where we're headed with the sequel,
right?
General direction, but there is not like a very specific like path she's going to walk.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job with that.
I'm so excited for the second one. I think it's supposed to come out later this year, and I'm
I hear.
So pumped.
I'm bummed that it's an Xbone exclusive, because that means I'm not going to play it for a while here.
Well, it's coming out on 360 as well, but like...
why would I?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean,
That's
I know it's going to be a timed exclusive, so probably 6 months later they'll come out with the Game of the Year edition or the Definitive Edition on the PS4. So.
The Ultra Definitive Edition or whatever they're going to end up calling it. Oh, man. Played that, finished it up. I love all the weapons. I love all the upgrades. The characters are great. All the little journals and stuff you find that flesh out that world are really well written and really well put together and voice acted. And the way they hint at like the things that happened in the past that led to this current state of affairs. Like you find like all the old stuff from World War II, and even before that. And the way they even lifted like that sort of, there's a little bit of supernatural in there as well.
Yep.
Just a touch, it wasn't as much as like that first Uncharted game where it was like, whoa, hey,
now there's zombies, yay!
yeah.
And there's also
Whoa,
something.
whoa! Spoiler. Zombies.
Yeah, I haven't picked up. Yeah, they make
Yeah.
fun of it almost immediately in Uncharted 2.
They
Where
do.
they're like, hey, at least there's not zombies, right, guys? That was pretty lame.
Yeah.
The other
Still
interesting thing, too, about Tomb Raider is if you collect all of the collectibles,
Yeah.
you get a hidden audio log that hints at something much, much bigger coming in the next Tomb Raider game.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
okay.
it's-
Now I have a reason to go back and find all that stuff.
I honestly couldn't recommend it.
Okay.
There's so much stuff that you have to go through, and there's so much stuff that you have to. It's a lot of it is just you don't get anything that's really. Just look it up on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
I mean, a lot of the stuff you have to go through is just so. It's not fun, and going through because I platinumed that game. Going through and doing all that stuff was sort of like, man, maybe I don't like Tomb Raider anymore.
Oh, no.
Maybe this
Okay.
isn't fun.
I'll leave my good impression intact then, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think I appreciate the save time.
Yeah.
Especially because I have to make time for the next series I'm playing here. I finished up episode 1 of Life is Strange, finally. Holy crap.
What do you think?
That's really cool.
Yes.
They-
We'll have to do a quick spoiler cast after this, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was thoroughly impressed with that.
Yeah.
That was they laid down all the major points. That's just a solid intro to like the rest of those 4 episodes.
yep.
It's like watching that fire. Like it was like for me, it was the same feeling I got watching like the Firefly pilot, like the
Right, you're
official
like-
pilot, not like the train job, like the
Yeah.
movie, like the hour and a half episode.
Yeah, and you're like, oh,
oh.
man, I have always wanted this. Right. I just didn't know
Right?
it existed.
So much downer hipster music, though, man.
I kind of like it because it fits.
It does fit, but like every time they play a song, it's like, should I be crying?
There's so
Should
many
I be
guitars.
sad?
Yeah.
Like, you're going for sad.
Yeah.
Should
I think more melancholy
Little emo.
and the infinite sadness.
little yes.
Oh, boy. Yeah, man.
By the way,
Acting.
fun anecdote. Speaking of Smashing Pumpkins,
Yes.
I noticed the other day because I used to follow Billy Corgan on Twitter. I decided
Oh,
I didn't
jeez.
need that anymore. Well, so his Twitter handle is @Billy. Like he got on that jump real early.
Yeah.
You know how you can change like your display name?
Yeah.
So he now goes by William Corgan.
Yeah, isn't that terrible?
That's the worst. That's just like no. You're
makes me
literally your name is Billy.
Yeah.
No, you can't go from Billy Corgan to William
We've
Corgan.
known this for like 20 years.
You are
Billy.
not. Look at yourself in a mirror, man. You are not a William. You're a Billy.
Yeah. Put on a suit.
Look at-
Maybe I'll call you William.
Look at your cats. Look at your weird mustache. You're a Billy.
Look at your cats. .com.
Look at your cats.com. You guys have seen that, right? He was on the cover of that magazine just holding 2 cats.
He loves
as happy
cats.
as could be. Oh, he does.
He loves
I
cats
got
and
no
he loves
problem
tea.
with that. But it's just such a. And wrestling. He's
Yeah.
such a. I don't know what to make of him
He's a
half the
unique
time.
individual.
Very. Good
I'm
stuff.
glad. I'm super glad you liked Life is Strange, though.
Life is Strange is awesome. So I finished episode 1. I really love the writing. The voice acting on the main character comes across a little stiff at times, but I think that's just an acting choice more than like anything else. I don't think that was.
It improves pretty quickly in season 2 when she
Okay.
gets other people to play off of. When it's
Okay.
just kind of her by herself, it's a little.
It's a little stilted.
Yeah, it's not great. I don't know who that voice actor is, but it seems like they were having her go for a specific character, and in the first episode, it's a little rough.
Yeah, it comes off a little too just sort of like self-pity and kind of.
Yeah,
It's a little heavy-handed.
yeah,
But she does a great job otherwise. So, the interactions between other characters and like there's a lot of. I love the way they handle like she's having an internal monologue. The way they handle like the character interactions with the environment and other characters are really good. That interface is really. I love that like you're making it like chalky and kind of like you're at a school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really interesting.
One of the things I actually like about the art style is when you go and you investigate stuff in the environment, like you look at a poster or you look at a magazine or stuff like that,
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of detail on that stuff in the environment, but you can kind of tell that it's like a high fashion magazine because there's only like 6 colors on the cover and it's kind of blobby, but you can kind of tell what it is. And I thought that was kind of cool because in so many of these games you pick up stuff all the time or you're looking at stuff and it looks like an intern spent 300 hours on a newspaper clipping. And it's like, I don't care. It has a button. You hit, I think, X on the
It hit X
PS4.
and it's literally read, and it just does a plain text of it.
Yeah, it just shows you the text in the magazine. I was like, oh,
Which
cool.
I also appreciate because sometimes it's really hard to read that stuff.
Yeah.
But man, just the level of detail they put into this, the voice acting is excellent, the writing is excellent, the story is really, really compelling. There's a little bit of Alan Wake in there.
There is.
There's a little bit of that DNA and that sort of storyline. It's sort of the same setting. You're in like the Pacific Northwest, and
it's the same sort of thing where you're looking at stuff and you're like, is that real? Like what's happening right now?
It's got that sort of dreamlike quality to it. Which is really, I think they picked up on that atmosphere really well.
Yeah.
And just the way they handle relationships is really good.
Yeah.
Like the relationship between the main character and Chloe, I think is, given like what has happened between them, that's about right.
It seems very realistic.
Yeah. So I like the way that's handled. There's so many good things happening here. And I started episode 2. I think I got out of the dorm after like an hour, 20 minutes because there's so much to look at and do in the dorm area. And there's like one big decision in there that I actually really struggled with that whole first decision for the second episode.
I've struggled with a lot of the decisions in that game where both of them are right and both of them are wrong.
Yes.
Where it's sort of like, how do I know this is going to make a big difference. I just don't know what I should do.
But that time travel mechanic, the ability to literally say, okay, all right, I want to try this choice, but if it doesn't work out, I can just...
rewind all over again and make the other one.
For me, that's the perfect adventure game because I don't want to have to replay this whole thing just to see the branching path.
Yeah, and it's not that long, but I feel like you get to choose specifically your story with all of the knowledge of, okay, if I make this choice, this whole thing happens, and I'm not crazy about that. Yeah. If I made this other choice, that whole thing happens, and that's way worse. Yeah. So I'm going to go back again, and I'm just going to pick this other one.
It sort of gives it almost like a God game feel to it, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it gives you a little bit more, granular control about over where the story's heading and, what characters you do certain things for and how you build those relationships. And it's really just an excellent presentation of a really good story.
Yeah.
But that's all I played this week.
I played a little bit more Destiny this week, of course. Iron Banner is out right now, so I've been playing some PvP.
Yeah.
Well, you can still hop on it because every day you get more experience rewards or more reputation rewards. I don't know what that thing is outside my window. So I've been playing a little bit of that, but it's kind of funny because it's kind of this embarrassment of riches lately because there's almost too much stuff to do. So I go in and I'm sort of like, well, maybe I'll just do this real quick and then sort of move on. Hadn't had a lot of time this week to play a lot of stuff, but I downloaded one of the PS Plus games this month, Skulls of the Shogun.
Okay.
I've been looking to play that for a while. I think it came out on 360 like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I fired that up and I played it for a little bit, and then I made the mistake of popping over to my Xbox One to go play Massive Chalice, and I will not be playing Skulls of the Shogun because Massive Chalice is way better.
Nice.
Massive
Chalice.
That's
a strategy RPG style game?
Yeah, so when Double Fine kicked it, so it's Brad Muir over at Double Fine directed it. His initial Kickstarter pitch was, I want to make Final Fantasy Tactics plus Game of Thrones. And I think that he succeeded. So at its
really?
At its core, it is the individual battles are turn-based strategy RPG battles.
Yeah.
It very much is. I would say instead of Final Fantasy Tactics, it turned out more like XCOM,
Ooh, even better.
Just without the cover mechanic, which you don't really need in this game.
Yeah.
I think it succeeded really well at being an XCOM style game. It has a very similar thing where you move in this one radius and you can move and attack. You move outside of that radius, you just move during the turn.
Love it.
There's a ton of cool classes. There's a hunter, which is your standard kind of going invisible, throwing, shooting arrows and stuff. There's a thrower, which has this crazy blade attached to his or her hand, but they also throw explosive vials.
Nice.
There's a caberjack who carries basically a giant stump and can push enemies around, can dash at enemies. I think there are other classes too, but I haven't played with them too much. Those are the individual battles, but the other side of the game, the other half of the game, is this really interesting... so the story of the game is there is this massive chalice that is...
you don't say!
Yeah, it's a sentient, and it raises you from the dead to rule this kingdom that's getting encroached upon by, let's call it, the darkness. That's about all they explain. Those are the bad guys, and they're trying to take over the kingdom. And the only thing is, because the chalice brought you back to life, you can only stay in the throne room of the chalice. So your heroes have to fight for you. You don't get to go to the battlefield.
Oh.
This whole thing is surrounds 6 houses. And when you start the game, they give you the option of serious houses, joke houses, or both. So, of course, I picked both.
Of course.
And Musum from Pup has a house because he gave enough money for the Kickstarter. Yeah. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to build a number of keeps in the area and then marry 2 heroes that have really complementary skills and have them reproduce and make more heroes.
Oh.
And you're doing this over a full game is 500 years.
Ooh.
So you're spending, decades upon decades. My very first game, I jumped in, I did the tutorial, and I was like, all right, I understand this. And I made it to 51 years before basically everybody died.
Ooh.
Because I wasn't staggering childbirths. So, I'd go and I'd bring a whole group of people together, and they'd go into a battle, and everybody's in their 30s. Yay! And then I would fast forward time so I could get to, my next building, and then 4 people died all at one time because they're in their late 60s. Crap! So I started back over, and I'm making smarter choices this time. But I really like how... So, for everybody listening, it is the Xbox One Games with Gold for this month. I think for just the first half of this month. So go get it. It's free. You have nothing to lose. And it's really fun, this different push and pull of, all right, well, I have to take care of my entire kingdom over decades, but I have to make sure that I'm investing enough stuff in not only the technology, I'm making better gear out of fallen enemies, just like XCOM. I'm investing, more in training. I'm investing more in research. And I have to do all of this to make sure that future generations continue to get stronger as the enemies get stronger. Because if not, then when I go into the battle phase and I bring all these, 18 and 20-year-old level 1 party members in there, they get rolled because my enemies are level 4 and 5 because it's 100 years later. So it's this really cool push and pull, and I think I lost about 5 hours to it yesterday without really realizing. And I've been looking for a game for this to happen where I just kind of get lost in it, and surprisingly, that was Massive Chalice.
Wow.
And I think the nice thing about it is the game is tough, and it's not unfairly difficult. There's no easy mode. It's just normal, hard, and brutal, I think. If you're going to start it, it seems like it's a pretty good starter SRPG, actually.
Cool.
It's very clear about your movement, your action items. It's very clear about when people get levels up. The talent trees for each individual character are very clear. It's basically 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 are your levels where you get stuff. Cool. And for most of them, you're picking only between 1 or 2 things. And they're pretty obvious what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I think it's super cool. This is probably the first Double Fine game that, in a while, that has really grabbed me in a really interesting way. I did really like Space 9, although that kind of... We all know what happened to that.
Yeah, they sort of stopped developing that, right?
They did stop developing.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff around that.
Yeah.
And Broken Age never really grabbed me. Man, this game is just... It seems like they got the both sides done really well. The battle system's really good. I even forgot to mention, like, there's almost FTL-like stuff where sometimes a house will come to you and be like, those guys are being jerks over there. You have to make one of 3 decisions.
Okay.
It seems very much like FTL, where it's like, you stumbled upon a planet that's full of giant spiders. What do you do? And it's like, peace.
Run.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah. For anyone starting FTL, giant spiders are never good. That almost never goes your way.
Yep.
Nuke it from orbit. It's the only
here.
way to be sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat that you have all that stuff happening. It's just really good. I would really like to go play it now.
Nice.
And it's nice to play something on my Xbox One as well.
Yeah.
Really, really, really wish that Microsoft would get their stuff together with the stereo headset adapter. It is invaluable on my PS4 that when I plug something into that controller, I have the option of muting stuff that comes out of the console.
Yes.
The Xbox One doesn't do that. If you
Ooh.
have your TV's volume up, it plays out of both. That drives me crazy. Please. But that's, Master Chalice is what I spent the majority of my week playing, and that's all I've been playing, so let's take a break.
Sweet. Oh, that's better.
Good stuff. Yeah, let's spend maybe 20 minutes after this, and we'll record a quick episode 1 spoiler cast.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to record 1 for every episode, because that way, once you're caught up, we should both be ready for episode 4 when it comes out in 5 weeks, 4 weeks?
Something like that. Yeah, hopefully. So, like, I'll probably be episode 2 when I get back from vacation, and then episode 3 the next week. So they're short.
Yeah, they're not too long.
Is it really worth it?
I think so.
After finishing 3 episodes, I really, really think it is. If I was in your position, I would wait, because the whole season will be out at some point.
Yeah.
So you might be able to just get the whole season for $20, and
The season pass is $20.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how episode 4 and 5 are going to be. Every episode has been way better than the last one, so I'm
waiting for it to jump the shark.
I'm sort of waiting for it to shit itself. Like, I really don't want it to, because if it continues this level of quality, it will be my #1 game this year. I mean, with a bullet.
It's the first episode's real good. I can't wait to see. I want to find out what this big twist in episode 3 is as soon as possible.
Oh, I hate that. All right, so here's the thing that I hate about everything right now is I hate that you know that there's a twist.
Yeah.
Because you know something is going to happen. Like,
I have no idea what, though.
So many people are like, "Oh, I won't spoil anything, but there's a twist at the end." It's like, you just did. You spoiled that there's a twist. Like, just shut the hell up.
I'm gonna grab some more water and get rid of some phlegm.
All right.
Yeah, and Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
And like, it's worse with movies, and it's worse with these short games, because like, now he knows that there's this something coming in episode 3, so he has like 4 hours in the episode to be like, oh, is this? No, that's not it.
Is this it?
It's like Hot Tub Time Machine. It's like, is his arm? Oh, no. One of the funniest parts of that movie.
That's the best representation of that problem. Mm-hmm. This is where it happened.
It's just like,
This guy doesn't lose his arm, I'm taking it off.
That's so frustrating. Especially...
Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is pretty okay.
I gotta watch that.
Same thing with Horrible Bosses 2 was pretty okay.
I hadn't watched the first one. I heard that was fine.
It was alright. It wasn't as good as everyone said it was, but...
My wife and I recently watched Big Hero 6. That was pretty good.
You know what? I don't know why I've been so stagnant on picking that thing up.
It was pretty good. It was pretty cute, and the story didn't go the way that I thought it was going to, which was pretty nice for a kids movie.
Yeah. I might have to pick it up now.
Yeah.
But no, what did I pick up? I went on a Steelbook. So I got that email from eBay saying, well, you haven't used your account in a while. If you don't update your password, we're going to delete it. I'm like...
Fair enough.
All right.
Jerks.
So then I get in there and I was like, all right, well, what if there's any crazy steel books that I haven't seen, that I've seen out in the world there but haven't been able to buy. So $175 later, I got Vanishing Point on Steelbook.
Ooh.
Legend on Blu-ray and Steelbook, and it's a great cover.
Does Legend look nice on Blu-ray?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
I
will tell you next week when it comes. But it's really cool. So you know, like Tim Curry's horns are those crazy horns. So it's like that, but on the reverse. It's like the top is red, the bottom is white, but the part going up in the horns is actually the unicorn horn. Wow. It's just you know me. I'm a sucker for good cover art.
Oh yeah.
All of these were outstanding. Like the Region 2 release of Looper is one of those minimalist Mondo covers. God, what else did I buy? It's bad that I don't even know what I'm spending money on anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem about eBay.
Yeah, okay. So let me zoom in there. Like, let's see if you can see. All right, that's Vanishing Point.
Oh, nice.
That one's outstanding. This one, like, I've been dying to see this movie anyway. Like, that's the cover for Only Lovers Left Alive.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's kind of a small image, but that's the Legend one.
Oh, man, that's super cool.
Dude, that's outstanding. Oh, I bought Street Fighter, the Assassin's Fist, and in the Steelbook version. I really liked that series. That was really good. But no, then I had to buy this one. It's me buying movies more than once for Dread.
Oh, wow.
And then here's that Looper cover. That's amazing.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
And, oh, no, that's my password confirmation. But yeah, Lovers Left Alive, Vanishing Point, and Legend, Street Fighter. Yep, that's all of them. But yeah, like I was sitting there looking at these, he's like, I can't not get these. These are too cool.
Yeah. Those are real, like, showpiece ones that you want to, like, put on a little stand.
I have, so what I'm considering doing is, like, I'm going to have just all my, like, not just the regular versions, but all the versions, and then have another section of doubles, like, this is my Jackass pile, where I bought these more than once.
Yeah. It's like give a penny, take a penny.
And half of it is Scott Pilgrim, so whatever.
Yeah, well, that was a super cool. I accidentally bought like 2 Steelbooks of Scott Pilgrim. Thankfully they're both different, but
yeah. Oh, which ones did you get?
Oh god,
you get the one comic book looking style one.
I got that one, and then I got the.
And
other
then you
one.
got the yellow one with just the Scott Pilgrim symbol.
Yeah,
that one's outstanding.
Yeah, that one's really cool. See, that's what I like about that's what I like about these Steelbooks is. I feel like they sort of assume that you already know what the movie's about, and it's not like the regular one where it's just the cover. It's just like a little bit of fan service.
Oh, they're all complete fan service. Like I picked up MASH, which has just the logo with the helmet and the walking fingers. And Patton is just him in front of a giant American flag. Like
nice.
That's awesome.
That's all you really need.
But I don't know. I just love. You know what? And something with this Steelbook construction is just like it has such a great feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you actually bought something.
Yeah.
That and surprisingly, they're easier to read, like on the shelf.
Oh, the spines.
The spine.
Yeah. That makes sense because they usually have like that clear.
Yeah, they have
like
that clear
strip.
Well, there's two, and then there's the other ones that have like the giant hinge, which I don't like because it feels like I'm gonna break this sandwich tin.
Yeah, yeah. You open it one time and it just doesn't stop opening. Just
yeah. What was like? I think it was the GI Joe one that I got. That was like the one side was caved in, so I had to take it out, put it on a flat surface, get my little ball peen hammer,
ting.
just flatten it back out and snap the plastic middle back in.
Yeah. Man, this dog is so passed out under this bed, snoring her brains off.
Yeah, these two are just kind of chilling. Samps is going all fish-eyed right now.
Excuse me.
What's up, Bubs? Oh, God forbid someone doesn't talk to you.
It's been so long. Be gone.
Get down.
Sometimes you just gotta show them who's boss.
Sometimes. I have to say one thing. This is like the biggest extra large I've ever gotten. This thing is massive. Like that seat, like the cut for the seam is like all the way like down here on my shoulder.
Jeez.
Like I got a pretty big like barrel-y chest too. Like this just.
Oh, excuse me. The gun show. Woo!
Oh man, to the Ric Flair.
Oh man.
I miss when wrestling was fun.
Yeah. People still talk about wrestling very fondly, even modern wrestling, and I feel like I missed the boat.
I think it all went downhill for me is when we were still doing the Monday Night Raw and when WC were always battling it out on Monday nights. That was always a lot of fun. So you had your different camps and you guys talk crap to each other and
yeah.
That documentary about the Iron Sheik was outstanding.
I feel like nowadays you have to watch wrestling with friends.
Yeah.
It's like watching like a football game. And
well,
it's fine
like
to watch by yourself, but
it's like a social experience anymore. And I think that's why people remember that stuff so fondly. Is because you were there with a group of guys, like going over to what the hell was his name? Lundenberg's house, way over in Ashland.
Yeah.
It just we're taking an hour trip, like not an hour trip, but like a half an hour drive to go watch Monday Night Raw at this dude's house
and just act dumb.
Yeah, I'll just load up in a station wagon and go.
Yeah.
That station wagon.
Jesus. All right, let's kick off this next segment since we'll have to do a spoiler cast after this.
Yep. All right, let me load up show notes.
I haven't done a spoiler cast in a while, and I've been itching to do one.
It's been since, I think, Walking Dead, like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Did I tell you how good that ending song was in The Old Blood?
No.
Oh, Nick, let's see if I can copy and paste that in the chat. Copy. Tabs.
Nabs!
Paste. Oh, I did it on the Twitch chat, so everyone can enjoy.
There we go.
Yeah, that song just... It starts off with your normal, like, sad ending song with just a really nice mellow guitar riff, and then... Oh, does that song bring the hammer down?
Nice.
Alright.
All right. Let's do this.
Indeed.
Let's go. Are you guys ready?
Let's jam.
Yup.
All right.
Get that out of the way.
All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for the week of June 8th, 2015. Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited for the PS4 and XBO.
I have heard very little about ESO other than, it's fine.
Other than, that's coming out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
plastered on every banner ad I've seen for the last week.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny because it's just the console version of the free-to-play MMO that's been out for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
So...
All right, Terraria. I thought this was out for everything at this point. Apparently, it's not for the Vita, and there she is.
It was out for the Vita before this.
Maybe it's just the downloadable version? I don't know. It kept
Maybe.
coming up on my searches.
No, it was free for PS Plus 1 month already, I thought.
Hey, it's still out. Don't forget about Terraria.
There's
Wanna
a
dig
new
stuff?
big patch for it that came out.
Oh, maybe that was it.
There
Yeah.
it is. A Terraria patch coming at you June 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic World comes out for everything.
Yeah, Lego Jurassic World.
And velociraptors and motorcycles.
Yeah.
Moving on to news stories. The most exciting / least surprising news story of the week is Fallout 4 has been confirmed.
Yes.
Coming out for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Don't complain. That's coming out for 7. It's not coming out for 7th gen. Nobody cares.
Yep.
No one cares.
Set in Boston. Looks like Dogmeat's returning. So
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yep.
That we talked about this a bit on Pup yesterday. That was a really good trailer.
That was a really good trailer.
Seems like there was a lot of stuff in engine,
Yes.
which is kind of uncommon. And they showed off. It was like 2.5 minutes long. They showed off a lot of stuff. No combat, unfortunately, but that's not the first trailer.
Well, yeah.
You don't show that in the first trailer, but
No.
it's kind of a nice. I'm hoping it's a nice tease for some meteor gameplay stuff that comes out during E3.
Yes.
I'd like to know if VATS is still around. That would
I
want to
see what they do with VATS. VATS is... I like the system, and there's like little annoying things I don't like about it.
I hope they keep it around. I hope they keep it around. I'd be fine if they tweaked it. I really don't want them to get rid of it. I know they have so much pressure for people not understanding VATS, and they want Bethesda to get rid of it, but I don't know. I think that's a super cool trailer. Everybody should go watch it. It's pretty nice, and it shows some stuff in the game from before the bombs dropped, which was kind of nice. You don't get to see that very often.
I'm excited to see what they do with that, because they did some of that in Fallout. Was it 3 or New Vegas that had the whole section, the simulation section?
3, yeah.
3.
Harmony Lane, I think it was.
Yeah. That stuff was really cool.
Yeah, that stuff was really
I would
good.
like to see explored a little bit further than that.
The only thing I really hope for Fallout 4, and we talked about this a bit on Pup, is I hope that they are better this time with planning for DLC, so they don't break their own engine.
Yes. I hope they're using a different engine, but I don't think they are.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how they answer that question during E3.
That's my thing. I actually tweeted that. I was like, okay, this looks really good. Are we still running a modified version of Gamebryo that's going to break every time I look at it funny?
Yeah, I feel like between Skyrim and between Fallout 3, both of those on the PS3, I feel like those are mistakes that they have hopefully ingested already to say, how about we don't do those again, because that turned out really poorly for us.
Yes.
So...
But man, I'm super pumped after that trailer. And like having a voiced main character, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm torn about that on the surface. I think it could be cool to get more story in a Fallout game, but at first blush, I'm not sure if that's what I want out of a Fallout game.
Exactly. And so much of the really cool story stuff that happens in that world is sort of a meta-narrative that you pick up through, finding different objects, going into different buildings, and you sort of have to build this story up from your own, conclusions based on what you've read.
And Fallout 3, I feel, did that really well. There was a conclusion to that story. You're following a giant robot as it blasts apart an entire city. There was plenty of stuff that was continuing to go on without you having to have a voice character. It could turn out really well. I'm not the type of person to kind of poo-poo that right out of hand, but I hope that they come out with something stronger than a standard video game story, because if not, it will seem a little unnecessary.
Cool, I agree.
Next news story here, Video Game Hall of Fame inducts their first 6 games. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, where we talked about their first 15, inductees. I don't know what the first, the runners-up. And they said they picked these 6 games because they significantly affected the video game industry, popular culture, and society in general, which is kind of a lofty goal, but...
It is. The first one, the first one, is still a pretty lofty goal, but then you combine it with those second 2, and I can see why they made some of the decisions they made here.
Yeah, so the list is Pong, which, yes, for many people it was the first video game.
The first, yep.
Pac-Man. Sure, a lot of people are saying Miss Pac-Man should have been in there.
Yeah,
they should both be in there.
They should.
Miss Pac-Man is better, but come on. Tetris, of course.
Yes.
Come on, that sort of has to be in there. Super Mario Brothers, that's also another given.
Yep.
Doom, also another great one, and then World of Warcraft, which I think a lot of people are surprised where they're like, why isn't it EverQuest? EverQuest wasn't as big culturally, in more than gaming culture as WoW was.
Well, I don't think there's been a game that has swallowed as many people as World of Warcraft either.
Yeah,
EverQuest got pretty close, but not to the same extent that WoW did.
Well, I think WoW captured a lot more of the casual people than anything I've ever seen.
That's true.
Well, the big thing about EverQuest was, it had that cultural, there was some articles and things that came out about it, but the internet itself was so much smaller when things like EverQuest and Ultima were online.
Yeah.
You just didn't have that potential user base there.
Right.
And you didn't have that potential audience to be finding out about it.
Right.
Well, I agree. That's like lightning in a bottle. The same thing with what happened with the Wii.
Yeah.
It was completely unexpected. Because, I had guys on my asphalt crew that were sitting around talking about playing WoW. And I'm like, this is bizarre.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. So, I think for the first year of inductees, that's a pretty good list. I know a lot of people are saying, well, if Mario got in there, why didn't Sonic get in there?
And why didn't Zelda get in there?
Yeah, you could talk about so many of those types of games. You can't pick them all. Yeah. So let the console wars stay in 1994 where they belong. Next news story, Gamefly launches a streaming service that is only available on the Amazon Fire TV. So this is
close.
I don't want to kick Gamefly while they're down, but this is such a weird news story. We couldn't not talk about it, because if you look at Gaikai and you look at OnLive, both of those just got slurped up by Sony over the last couple of years.
Yep.
Microsoft seems to keep having these secrets like game streaming, right, guys? Wink. And you're sort of like, that's okay. And they're like, no, I was just kidding. Don't worry, I'll see you in another year. I was just joshing. And then you look at Gamefly, who has not been in the gaming eye for favorable reasons for the last couple of years.
Unfortunately.
Well, they still take my $17 a month.
Ooh.
One more in every minute, Knobs. And then they partner with Amazon Fire TV, which I think on the surface is a really smart idea because it has a controller. Yeah. It's not this thing where it's like, now we're on Sony Bravia TVs. I don't know if you play it on your smartphone. There's no question mark there. It's just kind of, here's a controller that looks like the 360 controller, the bog standard of controllers for the modern day. So just go play some games. And then it gets weird. Because, You don't pay for a subscription to all of the games. You pay for a subscription for a subset of games in a genre. And you pay for that per month, but you get unlimited time for the games in that genre. So here's an example. The Adventure Pack is $7 a month, and it includes Dark Void, which, come on.
That's just mean.
Yeah, Overlord 1 and 2, Darksiders 1 and 2, and the 3 Batman games.
That's not bad.
That's not bad for $7 a month. But then, when you're done with them, you just unsubscribe and then hop over to another pack that has, like, first-person shooters. Like, it seems a little bit... And then there's, like, a Gamers pack where it's kind of the best of all of these packs and, like, double the games for $16 a month. And just kind of like... What?
I changed my subscription.
Yeah, like... I mean, when you look at this pack, if you haven't played any of these games except for Dark Void, all of those are really good and are pretty meaty games. So you could play for a couple of months for $7 a month. And for that price, I don't think that you would get all of those games on that list used from GameStop for $7.
No.
You know, you can maybe get each one for $7 if you really look. So I think unlike PS Now, there's a little bit of a financial incentive there. Yeah. Because you can say like, okay, well, Darksiders 1, I could probably get that for $7. Darksiders 2, yeah, maybe. The 3 Batman games, yeah, maybe $7 a piece, but you're kind of at like $40 or $50 at this point. And why not just pay $7 a month over a couple months and just knock out a bunch of really good games?
Yeah.
But selling that to people that have Amazon Fire TV, which is already a pretty small number of people, is a really weird business decision.
It is.
Maybe it's their focus group.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe let's see what this small group of people that have an Amazon Fire TV, and let's see how it plays out. I mean, whether they're going to jump whole hog into it or not.
I mean, if they had a downloadable app for PS4 and Xbox One that was GameFly that you could subscribe to this through, that might make a little bit more sense because, I mean, I might even hop in for some of these packages. Just like $7 I could knock out Arkham City and Arkham Origins. Probably in a month. Who knows?
Yeah, or if you're already doing it for the Amazon Fire thing, and I know there's licensing and things that would prevent this, but... Sure. Why not make this a general Android app that you can use with Chromecast? And, like, hook up a Bluetooth controller with?
Yeah.
Or just use it straight on your phone? Like, why, I mean, other than money, because I'm sure Amazon was like, yeah, we're going to just throw a bunch of money at you.
Right.
And that's how
that always works out well.
Yeah, the only thing I can think is that this is, like, their pilot program, that they haven't really said... This is where we're starting, so try and help us out. Like, if you look at the streaming site on GameFly, it's pretty bare. It's really just a set of facts. So there's not even really any, like... If you look at the Steam Machine stuff that Valve came out with, there was a whole website, and there's a bunch of videos, and they're really explaining it and selling it.
Yeah.
There's nothing there from the GameFly side of saying, like, here's why you want to do this. Either that or it's just not very clear.
Yeah.
So, really weird.
They might not even know what they're doing, so...
yeah, maybe not. I mean, maybe they're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So, I mean, Direct to Drive didn't for them, so that they got rid of it recently. So, you know, who knows. Next news story here, Valve announces that they were offering refunds on all Steam games. You can get a refund for any game for any reason, provided it's been less than 14 days since purchase and you've played less than 2 hours.
That seems reasonable.
That seems pretty fair.
I can see some potential issues with shorter games.
Yeah, some indie games I think would suffer a little bit because you think of something like Gone Home where people is like, well, I just played that in 45 minutes. Like, what the heck? I think some of those games may get hurt a little bit. Probably not that much, but it would be interesting to see if Valve will change their rules a little bit for some of those shorter, more some of the shorter experiences.
Yeah, and like, how do you solve that problem though? I mean,
Yeah.
you have one universal time amount. Do you, let the publishers control that amount of time and just set a minimum and a maximum?
I mean, you're already getting into stuff where it's sort of like,
Yeah.
I think if your game is under 2 hours, it should be all sales or final.
Sure, yeah, because it's probably only a couple bucks anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
I was like, do you really need your $2 back?
And,
Like,
and I
come
think
on.
what this solves for a lot of people is I bought it on Steam and it doesn't work with my computer. Like,
Yes.
I can't open it. My video card is too bad. Like, plays at 5 frames. Can I just get my money back? I can't play this thing. I think that's the thing that... Or you buy it and it's immediately either totally broken.
Yeah.
It works. I mean, you can play it, but it's totally broken from some standpoint. Or it's just a game that you bought it and you're like, hey, this game looks really great, and it's like a strategy RPG, and it's like, well, I don't want. I thought this was a racing game. Like, did I buy the wrong thing? Like, I think it really addresses some of that stuff where normally you would just go down to GameStop and be like, this this game. This thing I'm holding is not the thing I wanted, so I just take it back. Like, what else can I get?
And then fight with the manager for 5 minutes and eventually get a store credit.
Is there anything you'd like to pre-order?
And there was one interesting question, something in the QA section that they addressed, which was, this system is not... It's okay in this system where if you buy a game and it goes on sale a couple days later, it is okay to return it and then buy the game on sale.
Which I love.
Which is great, because, I mean, everybody wants to save money.
Who doesn't?
So, even that crow out there.
Yep.
He's pumped.
Especially that
Loves
crow.
Steam. Steam! Gabe!
Quote the raven.
Yeah, he's already got a Steam link out there. He's hijacking my wireless. Like, he's pretty pumped. And last news story we have here this week, XCOM 2 was announced. Created by the same team. PC exclusive.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yes.
Not a bad thing. I think a lot of people are expecting me to be like, Rebel, I can't believe... It's just really surprising when I feel like they were one of the few companies that said, we're taking this game and we're putting it on consoles, and I promise to you it is going to work. And it worked really well with a controller.
It did.
I played it on 360 with a controller. Like, it was good. And they've come out and they said, like, well, we're trying a lot of new stuff. We're really pushing this, we're pushing engine, we're pushing PCs as part of this. We're not shipping with controller support at the beginning. That will be coming later. They're really putting their effort behind PC. I'm assuming it's going to come on consoles eventually.
Yeah, probably. Right. I do respect Firaxis for making that call, though, because they are traditionally a PC developer.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do something, they want to do it right. And if they don't think they can do it right, they're not going to do it. And I respect that.
Yeah.
They're losing tons of sales on this. I guarantee it. They're probably not making their investors real happy either.
Yeah. But, I mean, maybe they're making a lot of potential customers happy by... there's been some stuff surrounding The Witcher 3. A lot of the stuff surrounding Witcher 3 has been total BS.
Yes.
But there's been some comments made by CD Projekt Red where they're saying, like, maybe certain things on the PC version have suffered a little bit because we were also putting this game out on the consoles, of which those sales funded the PC version and the creation of The Witcher. So I think for as they are normally called, the PC master race, whose everything comes out on PC and everything is the best on PC, you shut them up for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you can even see it with... This happens all the time. You can look back at when Rage came out, and you can look at some of the things John Carmack said after the fact, and he was like, well, yeah, we had to make certain concessions to make this thing work on the 360 and work on the PS3. And those things affect the main game code. They're not just little add-ons that we do, You don't
just like pull stuff out and it's like, yeah, it works on 360 now.
Yeah, you're talking
it works with the light
whole
gun.
engine.
Yeah.
Whole systems, whole, engine features that had to be attuned to consoles that you can't necessarily just swap out and replace easily just because you're building it out for PC.
And from a development side, it has to be way easier to say, all right, we're not going to worry about PS4 and Xbox One. We're not even going to worry about trying to get it running on 360 and PS3. It's just going to work on Windows PCs.
Yes.
And that is it. If you have Windows 8, you got Windows 10.
Yeah.
We're probably going to run on it. If not, Steam will give you a refund.
Yeah, and they'll get it to Linux and Mac eventually. They're good about that.
And I feel like at some point it'll come out on Linux, it'll come out on OS X, it'll come out on PS4 and Xbox One. Whether those are like the Game of the Year editions later, it probably will be because they want more money.
Yeah.
But they don't have to worry about it up front. They can just get that version out, and then they can worry about working it onto something else later.
Yes. I like that approach too. I mean, they're in a unique position to be able to do that.
Yep.
Not every company could, do this, but if you got the pedigree to say, hey, we're doing a PC only game, and everyone's not going to look at you sideways.
Yeah, a lot of people are going like, okay, good.
Yeah.
That sounds right. So, I mean, if it works for you, I mean, work it in your favor.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to chat questions.
Ooh.
Hey.
Slug Jones in chat asks, what was the last game that you guys thought would bomb but ended up being pretty good? Is that a good question? Number one, yes, it's a very good question.
Yes.
Keeping it topical, I actually think Life is Strange.
Oh yeah.
That seems like a game that before it came out, everyone was like, I don't know. It seems like an indie movie with a bunch of sad women in it. I don't know, but it came out and episode 1 reviewed really well, and it's been selling like gangbusters for Dontnod and Square Enix.
I really, really thought that when it was initially announced, I did not think that Borderlands Telltale game was going to be anything worthwhile. I was just like, that doesn't fit.
I mean, they haven't released much of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. They haven't, but like from what I've heard, it's not bad.
Yeah. I haven't made it all the way through first episode because there's only 2 episodes yet, and I don't want to dive into it if they're going to finish the Game of Thrones game first, because then I will be waiting for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, Shadow Warrior.
Oh, totally.
There's no reason why that game should have been awesome.
There's rumors that there's a sequel.
What?
The Shadow Warrior Twitter account has been tweeting about how excited are you to see Wang back. So keep your ears open on E3.
I hope the opening songs everyone Wang Chung tonight.
That'd be great. It's on the nose enough to be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Every time You Don't Know Jack comes out with a new game, I'm always kind of like, am I over this? And I never am. It's always fantastic.
No.
Yeah.
I always worry just a little bit, though.
Never open a good trivia game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there were any other ones that were kind of... I mean, I can't think of any game that kind of came out of left field that we didn't think was going to be good.
I really wasn't sold on Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Actually, that's a really good example.
Until I played it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, a lot of people came out of that being like, that was really good. Okay.
Yeah.
Did not expect that.
Pretty okay, guys.
It sold pretty well, too.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I can't think of any others. I mean, a lot of companies, especially publishers, are going to put out a sure thing. So you're a lot less likely to get a lot of those games where you pick it up and you're like, I don't know, man, this might be good. Oh, that was the best game of the year. All right. So,
Did you guys feel that way about Assassin's Creed when it came back? The pirate one.
Yeah, I didn't think that was going to be good anymore, especially after 3.
That's a good example,
really
because
rough.
3 really hurt that franchise in a way that it may never recover from.
Yeah.
3 and Revelations, I should say.
Yes.
That kind of 1-2 punch.
That one knocked me out, and I have not gone back.
Yeah, I that's a really good example, and then Unity hurt it a little bit, but we'll see what Syndicate does. But,
yeah. I want an Assassin's Creed game set in the Syndicate universe now.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the future stuff of Assassin's Creed, but with less guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to tweets.
Tweets?
The other Jay-Z asked, just played through Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, and it was even shorter than I had heard. Was anyone happy after paying $40 for that?
I only paid $30
this guy.
For what?
I was super pumped.
Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. So the thing about Ground Zeroes is it's assuming you're not going to play it once, even though the game very much is like, all right, you played it once, you're done. See you later. It's really expecting you to kind of continue to peel that question, that game back, to do all the challenges, to do all the secret stuff, do all the missions and stuff. Most people probably aren't going to do that because it's the same map and it's the same stuff. And for only the most diehard Metal Gear fans, that's probably not going to be that exciting. But I don't know. It $40 was probably a little bit much for that game, but I enjoyed it. I played through it once, and I said, "Hey, I'm excited for MGS5 now." All right.
Yeah, I love that game. It was one of the. It was actually I think the first game I bought for my PS4.
Yeah.
First physical game at least, and I love it. You know what? I'm okay with paying for quality over quantity.
And we're
and there was
we're
I'm
not
not
unbiased here.
No, not at all.
Like, don't listen to us. We love Metal Gear. So
yes, an unreasonable amount.
2/3 TVGP loves Metal Gear.
That's true.
That's okay. You can be the weird one, Nobs.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Adderblack39 writes, "Hey guys, do you think DayZ will ever come to PS4 as announced? It was announced 2 years ago. Probably not.
No.
I don't think DayZ has. I don't think any of these open world multiplayer PvP zombie games that are everywhere on Steam, I don't think any of them will break out of early access.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think from a publisher standpoint there's really, I don't think for a publisher or a developer standpoint there's really much of a reason for that game to come out on the PS4.
No, not unless they can monetize on it and microtransaction it to death, which no one wants.
Right, and doesn't do very well on home consoles yet.
Yeah,
I mean it's such. I mean, look at Forza 5, the one for Xbox One, where it had microtransactions everywhere, and everyone was like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to play it then."
Well, look at H1Z1, the Sony online game that they tried to do. Like they basically tried to do DayZ, and it did not. It didn't go well for them.
The other Jay-Z in chat says, also DayZ isn't fun. There's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun for the 1% of people that really love it, but it's not going to capture the majority of people that are going to get it. You're not going to get your attach rate high enough on your PS4 to make it worth porting to that console.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. And Treebeard, aka Robert G, writes in an email here. Like all of you, I'm sure I have a huge backlog of games. You have no idea. It's about 400 games deep right now.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty old. What would you say is the oldest game in your backlog? One that you really do want to and plan on playing someday, but still haven't gotten around to it after all these years.
Oh, boy.
After looking through my list, I believe mine is King's Quest III, which was originally released in 1986. I played through King's Quest 1 and 2 last year, so I'll probably get around to King's Quest 3 this year. Love the show.
I think you win, sir.
You probably have me beat, but what I like about him, this email, is he's saying, look, I played 1 and 2 last year, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get to this game. It's not just this, like, oh, look at this old game I have laying around here. It's like, no, I'm getting to it. It's just happens to come from the mid-'80s.
Ooh, gosh, I can't even think of games.
I wish I had my collection open. Like,
yeah,
I've never played Oni. I have a copy of that for PS2, but I keep trying to think of, all right, if I have Oni for PS2, what do I have for PS1 that I haven't played?
Yeah,
I
keep trying to play Final Fantasy VIII, and it just keeps not working.
Yeah.
The original Final Fantasy Tactics, I've still never gotten through that.
Oh, that's a good one.
I know.
Just came out on Android.
Yeah, I'm not paying for that pile.
Wait for it. Wait until it's on sale.
No, I'm not giving them money for what they do to their ports. They're awful at them.
No, Tactics is a good port.
Not the Android port.
Oh, well, that's
they kept the iPhone 4 aspect ratio and just letterboxed it. They don't adjust it to your screen. They literally just copied and pasted the iOS code and like wrapped it in Java.
Play the PSP one on Vita then.
That's yeah.
Dimeback315 in chat says Vagrant Story for me. Go play that. It's so good. Read a guide before you start it. It's a little obtuse. Knobs, I saw you looking at your collection. Do you have anything?
I mean, I really need to finish. Oh my gosh.
Anything on the original Xbox you got laying around there?
Nope, I got all those done.
Nice.
Banged out all those Otogies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't. I mean, the only one would be San Andreas, the only one I didn't finish, but I couldn't get into that one.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
Yeah, a lot of them like Marker Cree. Never really finished that one.
That's a good one. I've got
Yeah.
both of those games. I've never really played.
Yeah, I mean, I finished Rygar. Oh, jeez.
I'm really trying to think because anything before
Shadows of Colossus. As I get stuck.
Oh yeah. I've been trying to think like anything before the PS1. I've probably played the majority of those games because I was young
Yeah.
enough. I'm really drawing a blank on PS1 for games I haven't.
MDK2. I never finished it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
That's a good one. I don't think I've
Yeah.
finished either one of those.
No, like, should you? Like, did you?
Yeah.
You hit a wall in those games, you're done.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I have to parachute and snipe at the same time? Go to
Yeah.
hell, game.
I've still never beaten Quake 1.
Oh, you
Oh,
should be
I
quick.
certainly won't spoil that terrible ending for you.
I don't know. I've got a lot of old games in my Steam library, but I look at them and I go, would I ever really play that?
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like you have to balance on like yeah, I have a lot of really old games, but am I gonna go back to like the NES to play this game that I've never
Yeah.
finished?
Am I ever actually going to sit here and like slog through Wasteland 1?
Right. When you could just
You know.
play Wasteland 2.
Or just like Fallout?
Or just not. Yeah, for
Yeah.
people that are interested in Fallout 4, Fallout 2 still holds up.
Yeah, it
Fallout 2
does.
is really good. You can get it
Yep.
for a song on GOG.
Yeah, I think it's on sale on Steam right now, too. Actually, all the Fallout games are on sale on Steam right
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think that's probably all I can think of. And actually,
Yeah.
that's all of our questions for this week.
now. Okay.
So if you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us, tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. And everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Come join us for our weekly game nights. That is Monday and Friday is BF4 night. Tuesday is Destiny. Wednesday PS4 game night. I get
Yeah.
that backwards.
They've been
Nope,
doing,
you're
Team Asil and Super Epic Bruno have been doing a lot of Far Cry 4, so reach out to
nice.
those guys on the forums
I just bought
or
a copy of
on,
that on sale.
yeah, or on PlayStation Network. I think Team Asil is Troy and Abed in AM
Yep.
on PS4. So reach out to them there. They've sort of taken the reins. My Wednesdays have sort of been shot for the past month or so.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
too.
All right. Thursday is Steam game night, and Friday is back at BF4, 10 p.m. EST on the Xbox One.
Cool. Current TVGP Game Club game is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Highly recommended, especially if you're a fan of games like Deus Ex or any of the Elder Scrolls games or even Fallout.
Yeah.
It's got sort of a similar story structure. It's much more story-driven than those games, but if you like that sort of thing, check it out. $20 on Steam. Totally worth it.
And don't forget you watch this show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Thank you all very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
Titles!
I've only got a few. The other JC,
Other
I'm gonna need
JC
some
was
help.
killing it in chat.
He was. Let me turn on my Hangouts here because I'm sure he sent me a message. Yep, there it is.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding. All right. So I've got, from the beginning of the show, It's Got Electrolytes, Bring in the Lefty, Nomenclature, Springy Steps, Claptrops, Khaki Cape, Giant Spiders are no joke, and I think that's it. That's all I wrote down. All right, that's a list, Jay-Z. Wow. All right, we've got
Covering for us.
Internet 9.0, Bring in a Lefty, I'm Out, Basement Spiders, Nomenclature, because Knob screwed up saying nomenclature, haha. Back in Tristan, Send Out the Horde, Captain Colorblind, Deckard Bane, lighting and drivers and things, treasure and blah blah blah, a really big wink, downer hipster music, melancholy and the infinite strangeness, you are not a William, a 300-hour newspaper clipping, a wolf of mangoes. I think that was a chat thing that was happening.
Yeah.
500 years of hero babies, staggering childbirths, final fact, I'm not saying that one out loud. Giant spiders are no joke. Oh, wait, no, that's not the word I thought it was. Haha, Final Fantasy octogenarian tactics.
Okay.
That's
what did you think that was?
I misread that one entirely.
Maybe it's not podcast safe.
Yeah. Velociraptors and motorcycles, 4 never changes. Nice.
Oh, jeez.
Slurped up by Sony. Game Eye for the Gamefly. You're fired. We're just throwing money at you. Quoth the Raven, Newell Moore, finishing the joke I wish I had made.
Jeez.
400 games deep and wrapped in Java.
So I have Khaki Cape, Captain Colorblind, and Slurped Up by Sony.
I like Captain Colorblind or Khaki Cape just because I really like alliteration.
Yeah. Knobs, you gotta vote for any of these?
I don't know.
I could go with Captain Colorblind. I think that sounds kind of fun.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 398 for June 8th, 2015. Captain Colorblind.
Wait, that's green?
Everything's black and white.
All right, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We are going to take a quick break here, reset all of our audio recording stuff. We're going to drop Knobs because he hasn't played Life Strange. And then we will be back. We'll live stream the spoiler cast because why not?
Hey!
Yeah. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Bye.